Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Woodbury, Minnesota. Thank you for joining me. There it says I'm live. Let me find myself in my computer. There we go. Thank you for joining me. Are you on the East Coast and snowed in? Be safe and careful out there if you are. I don't know that I have any viewers from the East Coast, but you never know. You might be tuning in for the first time, so thank you for joining me. If you're snowed in, be careful. We're cold here again in Minnesota. We were up to 50 a couple of weeks ago. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started right away. I am consistently North Star Stamper, across the internet. So hopefully you have found me. Obviously you found me on Facebook or YouTube. So today I am doing a few things. In the current mini catalog, the January through April 2026 mini catalog on page 38, we have the Nature Walk Suite. And so the paper is always called by the suite name, Nature Walk. And then Nature Symphony is the stamp set and die bundle that you can get 10% off if you buy it as a bundle. I forgot to grab this paper. I have it over there. And the ribbon in those. Well, that's all right. Maybe I'll use those on my second sample or later. I don't know. So I have a whole bunch of things. This paper is awesome. I guess I'm not using it that quickly. I'll show you the papers real quick, front and back. A lot of pretty peacock in there, some Night of Navy and Secret Sea and Balmy Blue, and just dark. That would make a pretty sky, wouldn't it? A lot of nature things, which is why they called it Nature's Walk. Just some grid. It kind of looks like a screen. And you've got some writing on there, and I don't know. I see the word the all. It's, I don't know. I can't read it. I didn't look that close. Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. Oh, grid. To be honest, I didn't even look that close. I was so excited about this piece that this is all I have left. We're using that tonight. So the colors in here, real quick, are Balmy Blue. Oh boy. Blueberry Bushel. Oh, Blueberry Bushel. I forgot that one. Cloud Cover. Crumb Cake. Garden Green. Lost Lagoon. Oh, I have Garden Green in there twice. Night of Navy, Old Olive Pecan Pie, Pretty Peacock, and Secret Sea. So a lot of great colors for masculine or sympathy cards or nature cards. I'm enjoying this very much. Okay, hi Mom and Dad. Hello Kathy. Thank you for joining today. So like I said, lots to talk about. But my inspiration came from this card. This is one of the 14 cards we made at the online virtual retreat or virtual card making retreat. So this was our card, and they had us stamp the envelopes in the inside. It was very fun. So I want to point out some things about this card. And all my samples will relate to this in one way or another, and I'm going to do lots of demonstrating. So if you can see, features this die from the, oh boy, I thought I was organized. Hang with me. The Forever Florals dies. That was one of the bundles that came with the retreat. So here are the dies, the Forever Florals. Obviously we're just using this big one. And so they had us die cut it out of this pattern paper. And you can kind of see it on the top here, because there's that little flower right there. And then they also had us kind of on the back side, and we cut it out of two-tone Berry Burst, which is this piece right here. And then we flipped it over so that it isn't lining up exactly. I can demonstrate this real quick. I'm going to leave that there. So I have this die cut out of white, and then that designer series paper, Nature's Walk. And if we line it up directly, obviously it blends into it. So what you could do, here's lots of ideas. Here come all the ideas. You could offset it and it looks like a shadow. what they had us do on this card is flip the back one over and it offsets. So you see some of these leaves poking out. So that's what we're going to do today with the Nature's Walk and this die. Okay, let's keep going though. So they had us use this die on the front of our card. And then the next layer was the Berry Burst. And then this is a piece of Designer Series paper that came in the kit behind it. So it's a window, but we fill it in, and that's where we stamp the Always and Forever. So there's lots of ideas there. So we can create a window to see something poking through the window, but we cover it up so it's not open. You can't see, through onto this layer. The other thing is we have a trifold card. This one, I don't know how tall it is. It is 5.5, but our paper was 12 inches. So this is only 4, not our normal 4 1/4, but it'll fit in a regular A2 card, or mini envelope. So there's another thing that we're going to talk about today is a trifold card. So 5.5 by 12, scored at 4 and 8. And I've had to trim this edge on a few of mine just to make sure it folds nicely. So there's a bunch of ideas to get us started. I'm going to keep this here because I'm going to need it. I'm going to use this. I'm going to put things to the side as we go. Okay. Let's do this first. So that's great if you have a die machine and a big layer die like that. But what if you don't? I made this one out of a circle. So I'm going to try a couple of these. So I took a card. So this card doesn't feature all of those elements. This is just creating a window. And my idea, if you don't have a big, we call cover plate die. I think that's what my friend calls it. Hello, Jean. Hello, Deb. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to use my circle punch. I believe this is a 2 3/8. So I thought it was a 2-inch. And I'm going to line it up so I can see just the edge here and then just the edge over on this corner to get me started. So you can see right there. And then I'm going to do the opposite corner so I can see the edge right there. I know I'm going to punch in the other corners, and these won't be full circles, so I have an edge right there, but I'm pushing it all the way in. And then I'm going to do this one. I'm pushing it all the way in, and I have an edge right here. Oh, stay there. So these two I can use as layers for something. This I'm going to toss. I mean, you could do something, but that's a little much. Now I'm going to use the same punch and finish off here just to clean up my edges. You could cut it straight, but I kind of like it looking like a scallop. There it goes flying. And there. So there's the front of my card. Let me cut a piece of DSP so you can see. Oh, this one's pretty. This one will go the Pretty Peacock in Lost Lagoon with the grid on the back. I'm going to cut this. Which piece do I want? Let's do this piece. 4 by 5 1/4, just a standard layer. I just want you to see what this is going to look like. So there I've created a window with a punch, and now I would adhere a piece of DSP to the front of my card, and choose a DSP that you like the background and that it coordinates. Stampin' Up's doing much better about that. It used to be that the front and backs wouldn't coordinate at all, and then you couldn't do this with it. So there we created a window and we just filled it in, and you could finish off your card. All right, so I had already tried that and I knew it was going to work, so I'm a little nervous because I haven't tried this with the modern oval punch. Let's see how this works. And this was my first idea. Again, we're just doing the creating a window portion of that first card. And that was card number 3 in the retreat, by the way, in case you were wondering. All right, So let's try it. Oh, so it's not smaller. I pushed it all the way in, and I'm leaving an edge here. Let's do the same. Pushed all the way in, and I have an edge here. Ooh, let's do the top and bottom. Ooh, that would be a fun window. That would just be a fun window. All right, here come all the ideas. You can run with it. And I'm going to push it over till I see I pushed it all the way in, and then I have a little ledge here. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of fun. And I have my first two cuts, my first two punches that I could use for layers. All right, let's see what this looks like if we put a layer behind it here. And then you can finish, decorate it. It just adds a little something to the front of your card. Instead of having a full layer of designer series paper, here you just have two oblong ovals. So that's kind of fun. I could go here and finish it off, but I don't think I will. I kind of like that. Okay. Let's put these, I don't know where to put these. I'll put them on the floor because I'm done with them. Just drop them. Okay, my next idea here, this is the threefold, but I have it going, instead of this way, I have it going this way. So there's 1, 2. I will probably decorate it more. I don't know. You make me smile, and I would probably put a happy birthday there. But here I used the loveliest tree, and this die is I cut out of the same DSP, and I flipped it over so you can kind of see it. I offset this one, so just to get that idea. Cutting the back side of your paper obviously will give you the mirror image, just so that they don't look so cookie cutter. And my frame, oh goodness, did I keep that out? I did. Was the Gallery Blooms. This one die gave us this large die, and this centerpiece came from here, and then I didn't use it, but there's another frame here. I must have put it away, that comes with this one die. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. So there's an idea with your trifold. All right. I have a couple more here. Stay with me. This is one where I used the circles, just like this. I used that shape with my circle, and then I put just a piece of two-tone behind it that I stamped on with the Nature Symphony. And all the dies are from Nature Symphony. And this pattern paper is the February product of the month. So I coordinated all my stamping, and I'll probably pull these two stamps out and stamp on my envelope. So, and the banner and the circle are from Stylish Shapes. So that one is the window. This one, I used this die from, this is the Lovely Arrangements dies, and this was our February, our most recent Lovely Blossoms class, but I didn't like the DSP, so my class, I used the same stamps and dies. The stamps are a floral. Lovely Arrangements. So these were the bundle we used, the stamps and dies. So these cut out that, and that cuts out that. Otherwise, these are all different. So that was kind of fun. But I used this die to die cut the top and bottom of my layer, and this is the Splash of Sparkles Designer Series paper. So you might recognize that one. And the circles are on the inside. So I die cut this twice, here and here. And then one of those die cuts, I just turned sideways and put on a layer, and I just used white. I was going to use black. I thought the black with the bright colors would look really good. But I didn't know if I liked those black accents. Not my favorite, but anyway. And then something else we did in the most recent class was the diamond-ish shapes that came from here. We used as elements on one of our cards. I think it was a card or a tag. I can't remember. So that's where those came from. They were left from when I die cut that. So there's another tri-shape card with the kind of window theme inside. Am I done? I thought I had. All right. So those are my samples. We're going to make a card. Whew, Kathy says, I really like the threefold with the trees landscape orientation. I thought it was a good way to get several trees on there because they are kind of short trees. Going this way, the orientation would be, the height and all would be different. And I don't know. Okay. We are going to use, I have things cut and ready to go, so this shouldn't take too long. So we're going to use this piece that I already had die cut. And this is a piece of our Nature Walk. I forget what it's called. Nature Walk Designer Series paper. And I already have this cut to 5.5 by 12. Oh, I haven't scored it. All right. Now I have to make sure I score and don't cut. And I like to score on the front at 4 inches from each side. I could open the arm and do 4 and 8. Same thing, right? Press a little harder there. All right, and then we're going to fold it in and burnish. And we'll fold this one in. And burnish. I like the flat on the inside. And this is the way it's going to go. You can see it's scored such that it doesn't fold neatly. So I'm going to trim a little bit. See, this is not folding because it's scored exactly. It needs a little room. I don't know how to describe it. It needs a little wiggle room. So on my inside flap, I'm going to trim off like less than 1/16 of an inch. So I just put it on my track, like where the brown ends. So this is 1/4, that's 1/8, so about 1/16 of an inch. That's about 1/16 of an inch. You could cut more off and use that piece you cut off as a design element. I do that sometimes. Okay, so there's our front. Now I'm going to take this die and die cut here. But I don't want these to match. I don't want it to layer on top of it. So what I'm actually going to do is die cut from the back. Because this was already done. And I'm only going to have 2 layers. I could use that other one I had die cut. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to die cut this just like this. I'm not going to bring my machine. I don't think there's room under my light there. But I will set this all up for you. So I'm going to center this, top and bottom, side to side. And then I have a piece of washi tape. This is really old washi tape we used to sell. I'm going to go as much at an angle as I can, and you don't get that road bump. Speed bump when you're die cutting it. All right, and then I'm gonna, whoops, it moved. And I go just like this. Make sure, before I run it through, I'll make sure this is even. It's not quite even yet. Okay. Hopefully you know how to die cut if you have a machine. And of course, if you bought it from me, you got a free lesson on how to use it. I believe it's my job to make sure you know how to use what you buy from me. So, all right. It's a little tight, so I'm going to run it through and run it back. Oh, and I forgot to show you how I didn't do it this time, but quite often I'll use a piece of parchment paper between my die and what I'm cutting. All right, take that off, take this off. See, a lot of it stayed in there. Let's poke some of these out. So I went from the back because I don't want them to line up perfectly. And I don't want a shadow. I want it to look like a different die. All right. That's pretty good. My die was nice and clean when I put it through. So there is now the front of our card. Oh, that's interesting. I'm just going to move this to the side. I will clean up later. And then here's our white one. Oops. That will fit on top. And see how you see the green poking through? But I don't think I like that in there. So I have a piece of two-tone Darling Duckling. I had to think about the name. There's the regular Darling Duckling and there's the light Darling Duckling that we're actually going to put on the front here. So there's our window, and then we're going to put this on the back so you can see the card this way. Let's see. I'm going to use my silicone mat. What I think I might do, I haven't tried this, so like I said, I get nervous when I don't have an actual plan. If I'm thinking out loud now, if I put adhesive around the edge there and then put this on top, some of the adhesive might come through, but that might be just enough to hold on my white layer. So let's try that. We will learn together. Normally when using this die, I would use an adhesive sheet. It is so intricate. Later on, sometime, I will share with you other cards that we made with this die, where we had to use an adhesive sheet. It was way too much for... I'm just going to take that down. There's no way we could make that other card without the adhesive sheet. Okay. So that's not quite straight. Let's pull this a little bit. There we go. Can we still open and close the card? Nope. I think this was too big. Okay. Can we open and close it? Nope, this needs to be pulled out. See, this is why I like the wet glue, so I can do this. Once it's dry, we will make sure it can close. It's going to be a while, though. When you get adhesive on your fingers, hand sanitizer is what you need. All right, so you can see some glue on there. All right, that didn't work so well, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is put some adhesive on my silicone mat. And who did I learn this from? I think I learned this from Nan. You can see I've been doing it using this, I don't know, is that a putty end? Spatula end. So I'm going to pick up some adhesive on there so you can see that. And that's how I'm going to put it on here. This works really well if you've already adhered something to your card, and like, let's say I used it on one of these samples. One of my leaves was not adhered and it was sticking up a little bit. Actually, this is wide enough. I'll do this. Now, normally I don't like to put wet adhesive on things like these leaves. There's a slit in every leaf, and liquid glue will come right through that slit. So I'm putting it on the flowers. Oh, I meant to color some of these flowers. We'll see. I can still do that. Find places to hold it. I'm just going to cover up the edges. Isn't matching, right? And there's adhesive coming through. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's sticking. It's sticking. Let's turn this over and burnish it and see if we can't get it to lay. And hopefully Hopefully it isn't sticking. Oh, no, it isn't. So, there's our window. I kind of like it. What do you think? All right. I have some more things to share with you. For those of you who are not yet demonstrators, if you join during February, you can get this Stamp Positioner free with your starter kit. So you join by purchasing a starter kit for $99. You get $125 of product that you choose. And during February, you're going to get this. You'll get the platform, 2 of these magnets. You can see I am using my old Stamparatus magnets because these I didn't think were strong enough. You get the big plate that you stamp with, and then you get this small plate. A fun technique you can do with this small plate is put a small stamp on there and then stamp it along, and you get a nice line of whatever you've stamped. A lot of other techniques you can do, but this small one has come in handy for small stamps. Maybe I'll use that one today. So what I have here are the stamps from the Lovely Arrangements. So these 2 I've die cut. And here are our stamps. I already... Oh, let's try this one first. So this is a fun thing to do if, oh, where did my flowers go? Hopefully they're in here. Nope. Oh dear. If you're creating a lot of cards, like for Christmas maybe, and you want to stamp and die cut something, rather than stamp once, run it through the die machine. Stamp again, run it through the die machine. Stamp again, run it through the die machine. What you do is you create a template. That's not them. I have more envelopes here. Hold on. I'll show you where we're going with this. All right, here we go. You create a template, and then I just used a piece of white, and I die cut a whole bunch of leaves and flowers. I'm thinking I'm going to want white leaves, so I die cut those as well. But here are some flowers that just plain die cut using these 2 dies, just plain white. Now I'm going to use this as a, oh, what's the word I want? Template. Is that going to work? It will. So let's see. So I can read Stampin' Up here, so I know it's the right way. And I picked up, and it's not quite right. So I used the other, let's see. Let's move this. So if you have a Stamp Positioner already, you could do this process with that. But if you don't, join my team. Right, Kathy? Wouldn't we love to have more people on our team? So I'm going to put this here. I think, what do they call these? There's a name for these. Not a slip. There's a name for it. All right. Sorry, I should have had this all. But I wanted you, I should have had this ready to go, but I wanted you to see how I do this. So once you get it set up, it'll work really well. Okay, so there's holes up here. I'm going to push down and pick up my stamp, and it's stuck to the, not the slip. You know what I mean? I forget what this is called. Okay, let's see if it matches up. Yep, okay. So my white is lining up with my stamp. So I'm going to stamp in Timid Tiger. And let's see if you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to ink. Can you see I'm inking? Ink. And there's a, does one of you know what it's called? I don't know. So my stamp is lined up with my white die piece, and I stamp, pushing on where that is, and it sticks. Oh, I did it twice, and it moved slightly, but I kind of like the look of that. So we can do another one. put this in here in my template, ink it up, line it up, put those two on the holes, and push down. And it's done, stuck again, but look at that. Not exactly perfect, but usually when I die cut, it's about that perfect. Do I have more of those? I thought I die cut more. I did. Hold on. Let's do it one more time. So I put my die cut in there. So when I die cut these blank ones, I could be very economical. Let's see if I have it here. I do. How little waste I had on my white cardstock. So that was good. And then ink. Line it up. And push down. And it sticks again. But that's a quick way to stamp a whole, oh, sorry for my arm in the camera. All right, so the Stamp Positioner, brand new, available only to new demonstrators. Demonstrators could pre-order this last month. It'll eventually be available for purchase, but we have not been given a date. All right, so I did stamp and die cut some full-size ones too. Okay, let's put that to the side. Now, let's get back to our card. So I thought it would be nice to have a little bit of orange in here, or Timid Tiger. Oh, I don't have anything for a sentiment. I kind of like that one that's double. Let's see. Kathy says, we would love to have more people on our team. We all learn from each other. That we do, Kathy. And we are all over the country. I'm in Minnesota. Kathy's in Missouri. We have another team member, Melissa, here in Minnesota. And then we have another team member, Nan, who lives in California. So we meet monthly on Zoom. We have a Facebook group that we chat about stamping. Not a lot, but we're there when we have questions or concerns. And we've helped each other through some difficult times, haven't we, Kathy? All right. I was thinking of adding some Darling Duckling. I couldn't think of the name of it. To the middle of my flowers. Let me go grab my Darling Duckling. Excuse me. Just to tie it in together, because right now they kind of look a little lost. I think we'll use a water painter. I could use a blender pen. I could just use a brush, like a water painter brush. I'm just going to add a little yellow to the middle here and pull it out. Now that orange is it's water-based, and this is water, so it might bleed a little bit, but that's okay with this kind of thing. Now, if I had stamped in green or brown or black, then you may not want to. Oh, I like that. Then you might be concerned about activating that water. But with the orange, oh, I'm kind of liking this. Let's do a couple more. So just water painter with, let's add some there. Add some yellow to these leaves. There's another one. So to the middle, oh sorry, that may have been off. I don't think so. All right, sorry we're running a little late here. I had so many cards to show you. I was home all day and I just kept creating and kept creating. I'm like, what else can I do? What else can I do? So, as you heard, I have more ideas. I don't know if I have anything for my sentiment. All right, some adhesive. Let's get this card put together. So I think I like the two here. And then a big one down here. And then we'll tuck in these leaves. I didn't want to add another color. I could do, no. I think I like the white. I think looking, you can see what I'm doing. Tilt that one that way. Nope, that didn't work. So these classes and the retreat that Stampin' Up's been offering have been so fun. I have been stamping for 29 years. Can you believe it? It was the year Andrew was born. I started in January. Just stamping in January 29 years ago. And I'm still learning things. I never would have thought to do this with the die. I'm going to offset this a little bit. And then these, you know, the lines through there, they're cut. Those are cut. So I don't want to use liquid glue. What I like to do is use glue dots. So I'm going to pick up a glue dot and tuck it underneath like that. Let's see if I have others. I think I die cut a whole bunch of things. Oh yeah, I die cut some peach pie that I thought about stamping for my inside with Timid Tiger. I don't know if I want to introduce another color. I don't think so. But there was another idea. The ideas just kept coming all afternoon. It was kind of fun. Alright, where are the end of my glue dots? I'm going to pick that up with the glue dot on the back of that leaf. Let's put this one up here. Oh, the other thing we did on that card, I think, maybe not. We colored in some of these leaves so they weren't all white. But I kind of like it white. What do you think? Leave me a comment. So I like that I brought in some of that yellow to tie in with that. And that is got some adhesive on here, so it's going to be adhered closed if I leave it too long. But I need to do something on the inside. So I do have a couple more of these that I think I'll just decorate the inside with. Maybe here. And here. I don't know. Oh, that one's blank. Here's one that I already stamped. Need some yellow. And then I have a piece of white that I'm going to put there. Alright, I need to back up a little bit. So which idea do you think you'll try first? A trifold card? A card with a window? Or offsetting multiple die cut layers? I guess that's what I'll call it. Add more yellow here. Clean that off on my chamois and squeeze some water out of it so it's not yellow anymore. I'm going to blow on this. I'm going to put this way down here. I think I'm just going to use glue. Don't know if I want to put dimensionals on the inside of my card. Might get kind of bulky. I'm going to put this way down here. We'll add some leaves because I can. Look at that double leaf. So that's a die that's part of the lovely arrangements. The double and the single leaves. So I'm just putting this on the stem, that glue dot, and then we'll tuck it under here. It looked kind of funny without it. And here's the single leaf. Pick up a glue dot. Tuck it under there. All right, and I already have a piece of white that's going to go right there. Maybe I'll just stamp on this one. Oh, I didn't use the stamps that coordinate. With Nature Walk, Nature's Symphony. I kind of like this one. Yeah, let's stamp with this one on here. What color? The Pretty Peacock is really covered up there, and there you can't see it. There's our Secret Sea. This one you can see a lot of the Old Olive. Maybe I'll use Old Olive. Do I have it? I do not. Garden Green. Peach Pie, Lost Lagoon. Pretty Peacock. It's the one I have on my table. Then I can stamp on my envelope with this too. You know what? I'm not thinking I like that. I do want to go. Sorry it's getting late. I try to keep these to half an hour, but I had lots to share with you today. All right, I grabbed Lost Lagoon and Old Olive. Let's do the big one in Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to go off the edge. I want to keep this grid paper nice, so Lost Lagoon with the big one. Nice. I like the stamp, and you do need the big E block for this one. If you don't have the E block, you could use the F block, the really big background stamp block for background stamps. But it does call for the E block. I'm going to stamp off and have it come through. Stamp off, have it come through. Oh, I like it. Now I'm wishing I had stamped on my, hold on, let me clean up a little bit. Just like that. Make a heart, say a prayer for the person receiving it. I like to do that. I forget where I learned that. Somebody else. So I have room. I could put more here. I like the You Make Me Smile stamp. That's kind of fun. I could put something here as well. So if this is going to be a card from many people, I would just add another piece of white and stamp on it a little bit, probably. Like I would do it. I would have done it differently. I would have stamped up here and stamped down here and left lots of room to write. You can write here too. You could even write there as well. I don't have a sentiment, which is fine by me. Then it can become a birthday card. I could add a banner like I did here, down here, or this isn't the right color. I could use half of a circle. That's not the right color, but anyway. Okay, I'm going to say that's done for now. Let me clean up a little bit. So thank you for joining me. I hope you are inspired to try something new. Let me grab, I lost the lid to my, it's here somewhere. So using our die, we created a window. There's a nice window. I could put that on just a piece of yellow. I know I'll do something with that. So I won't show you that one. We created the window with a punch. If you don't have dies, this is a trifold. I think this needs more, maybe some white leaves, something. And then if you don't have the die, you can do it with a punch. So here I use the modern labels punched twice on the top and the bottom. And this is how I created this opening using a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. Mom says I like the white. I think you mean on here. Kathy says, yes, we have. The difficult times are easier with support. Definitely has been a trying time for our team. But we try to be there for each other, even though we're not physically near each other. So yes, thank you all. I'm glad you like the ideas, Mom. thanks for joining me today. Say hi to Dad. I don't know if he's sitting next to you or if he's off on the computer. And take care, everybody. And again, you have until Saturday to join the team and get the Stamp Positioner, a $49 value, for free when you join the Stampin' Up family. So thanks for joining me. Happy stamping. I take requests. If there is a technique you would like to see, I'd be happy to share it with you. And if I don't know it, I'd learn it. So take care, everybody, and stay safe wherever you are. Bye.